Good morning, this is talkSPORT Breakfast. It's 10 minutes away from 8 o'clock. It is Monday, November the 17th, and this is talkSPORT Breakfast. I'm Jeff Stelling. Gabby Agbonlahor is with me. Now, I was watching, we have a bank of TV screens in front of us, and I was watching a moment or two ago. There was an interview on one of them with the first King of the Jungle, because we mentioned that I'm a Celebrity was back. Remember the first King of the Jungle?
I'm going to have a wild guess and I'm miles off it. Harry Redknapp, but that was probably 15 years after it started.
Yeah, Tony Blackburn, the first King of the Jungle. And I'm looking at him, and honestly, he's nearly 83. He looks 20, 30 years younger than that.
Good.
Yeah. I'm going to have to ask him about, the secret of his skin regime and things like that.
What's his skincare?
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, Tony Blackburn, first king of the jungle. Now, elsewhere, this Monday morning, Thomas Tuchel said behaviour is key, and he will review Jude Bellingham's unhappy reaction of being subbed during England's World Cup qualifier against Albania. Luke Little has become world number one for the first time after beating Luke Humphries, the man he takes over to win the Grand Slam of darts in Wolverhampton. And the Arsenal defender Gabriel has not travelled with the Brazil squad for the friendly against Tunisia in France after scans confirmed a thigh injury. He picked up that injury during the friendly win over Senegal at the Emirates on Saturday. Perry Groves spoke yesterday about the injury and the wider concern of club players playing international football during the season.
He said he's done his back. He was like pulling his groin, and his face didn't look great when he walked off. But that you don't know, and obviously they are sort of analysed now, aren't they? And they have the CT scans and whatever different sort of scans to see what grade it is. I'm hoping that it's a bit of stiffness, and he might be available for the massive game we've got next Sunday against Spurs.
Tottenham, yeah.
Exactly. So it's just what happens. It's part of the international break. Just want all your players to come back fit. On the injury side of it, again, I'm just keeping my fingers crossed for the England game tonight. Obviously, I want England to win, but if it meant that England, I've got to be honest, if it meant that England drew or got beat, but my three Arsenal players didn't get injured, that doesn't bother me.
Oh, that's not nice, Perry. You're better than that. Gabriel's injured. Okay, go on with it like everyone else does.
Yeah.
You've got 3 centre-halves on the bench. You had 3 centre-halves on the bench against Sunderland. Mascara, top defender when he's played. You're fine. If he misses the game, so what? I'm sure playing for Brazil would mean a lot more to Gabriel than missing a couple of games for Arsenal. Yeah. They love playing for the country, the Brazilians.
If you are going to be a top team, you are going to have international footballers.
Of course.
And they're going to play for the country, unless they do what Ben White did and said, not interested.
But Jeff, throughout the season...
And then get pilloried for it, by the way.
How many times throughout the season have we seen where players haven't started the game after international break because they've had long journeys back and they've been rotated? That's what Arsenal might have to do on the weekend. You'll be totally fine. Mascara's there. Ben White's available. Martinelli, I don't know if he went away. Like, maybe he doesn't start and you got Trossard. That's why you build a squad of 25 players.
Yeah.
Right, you lot. Forget all that scrolling past. You always keep watching my stuff. You watch Simon's stuff. And any other channel, you like all their crap stuff. Stop. Subscribe. You know what to do. Stop messing about.
It's just what happens when you're a big club.
Typical Arsenal fans. They're starting already.
Aidan says, Republic of Ireland, best £2.49 I've spent in ages. Yeah, I think most people would agree with that, Aidan. Right, let's stick with some international news, and we're going to talk Italy, actually. Oh, goodness me. Could be happening again. They've missed the last 2 World Cups after failing to qualify. They lost 4-1 at home to Norway last night. Look, they were already effectively out of automatic qualifications before that game, but it's the manner of that defeat. Let's cross over to our Italian football expert, Daniela Fisichella. Good morning, Daniela.
And Daniela, good morning.
So what the heck is happening with the Italian football at the moment? I mean, I looked at their starting lineup last night, and I couldn't help but think back to some of the great Italian teams of the past.
Well, they suffered the worst home defeat in 70 years. Since 1955, Italy hasn't conceded 4 goals at home. And yesterday was a crushing blow to Italy because it showed us that 5 months on, since Italy lost the first game of the qualifiers 3-0 in Oslo, and then Luciano Spalletti was sacked as Italy national manager. Well, 5 months on, not much has changed. There's still a lot of clouds, doubts, insecurity. And last night, actually, Italy started all right, did a good first half, took the lead, maybe should have scored the second goal in the first 45 minutes. But then in the second half, as Norway started pressing higher and high up the intensity, Italy simply had no answer and crumbled. They couldn't basically get the ball past their midfield, and they were just hapless against Haaland and company, who were just basically left alone to score against Donnarumma. So it is a step back, and it puts everything really under a cloud ahead of the March playoff for Italy.
Daniela, surely Italy have to qualify for the World Cup. This can't keep happening. Like Jeff says, we were talking off air. I mean, I grew up watching Del Piero, Totti, Inzaghi, Christian Vieri, Nesta, Maldini, all these players. And now you look at the Italian squad and you're like, oh, it could be a while before they win another World Cup, even qualify.
Well, Gabby, in the last few months, Italian officials and Gattuso, the manager itself, they spent time criticizing the FA and the qualifying system. Yes. Then the media spent the time loading Gattuso for having won 5 consecutive games against Israel, Moldova, and Estonia. And nobody's really looking at the root problem deep down. Yeah. Italian football system is in decline. It's been in decline for more than 20 years. Even when Italy won the World Cup with the generation that you mentioned, the decline had already started. Then there were some exceptions based at club level, an individual exception, and when Mancini managed to find the chemistry for Italy to win Euro 2021. But that was really the exception that confirmed the rule. Italy lacks infrastructures, they lack modern stadiums, they lack modern training centers, and whereas other countries have developed and modernized, we still remain fixated with the idea that we are a footballing powers and we must qualify for the World Cup. Unfortunately, looking at the team, it's very, very modest. Norway are a better team than Italy, and Norway has the population of Sicily, a region of Italy. Look at Croatia. They qualified for 7 of the last 8 major tournaments, and they only got 3.5 million inhabitants. Italy has got 60 million. I think there are endemic issues as well, but also I put it down to the fact that Italian football, and especially Serie A, is not producing talents because the emphasis is on getting results, is on crossing the line, and it's not a secret that most of the Italian teams play with 3-5-2, which ultimately is a defensive. Yes. It's a defensive structure.
Daniel, you make it sound like it might be a long time before we see Italy re-emerging as a force again.
Unless we rediscover the quintessentially Italian spirit, which is defense, getting back to the basics, making sure that we sometimes have to match other teams. Take, for example, the likes of Ireland. It's not the most talented teams in the world, but they have grit, they play to their strengths, they defend well, and they got some epic. Italy seemed to have lost this completely, thinking that we should win by default. So unless they go back to the basics, and I think the basic is starting to be solid. If you look at the goals that yesterday conceded, they were quite comical. 30, 40 years ago, Italy would not have conceded those sort of goals, and now we kind of seem to accept it. Unless we do that, I think it's very difficult. Looking to the playoffs, everyone on paper is beatable. Romania, Northern Ireland, Moldova. But can Italy win back-to-back games in March? This sort of Italy, I got my serious doubts. It's going to be an age of the seat affair, I think.
Danielle, thank you very much indeed
for your time. Thank you very much. Great passion.
Brilliant. I think when we were talking about Gabriel, Billy has texted us. He says, shut up, Gabby and Jeff.
Oh, that's not very nice. Billy. We'll have a show, mate. We still got 2 hours.
Well, we're going to shut up. Shall we?
Yeah.
Let's shut up.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay, Billy. Billy goes on to say, the games are dead rubbers. Look, people want to play for their teams.
Harry Kane's on 78 goals. He wants 100 goals. Yeah. You tried saying Harry Kane, he's rested in March.
Sometimes, seriously, I wonder about the sensitivity of some fans. I know football's travel. Alan has texted and said, boring negative Arsenal opinions from you both this morning. Can't you get through the day without slagging the Gunners off? When have we slagged the Gunners off? When? Come on, Alan. You text back. Tell me when we have slagged the Gunners off. Come on, I'm waiting for it. this. Okay, we said that Gabriel wants to play for his country. I said Arsenal are a big club and can cope with it. So I'd love to hear it, Alan.
Wind it in, Alan.
Oh, goodness me. 03717 223344. Look, I tell you what, Italy's problems put all of ours in perspective, don't they? Nevertheless, next we'll be asking whether Jude Bellingham's reaction to being substituted is a problem for Thomas Tuchel. Gattuso must wish that was his biggest problem.